remedy protocol development for skin absence, such as popped blisters and lacerations. Today is Tuesday, 21 July 2026 AD, and here I, Tanis of Seattle, ruminate about home remedy protocol development for skin absence, such as popped blisters, lacerations. So this is partially inspired by a particularly gnarly popped blister I got on Saturday, 27 June 2026. So I'm almost a month out from healing, and it is still healing. And it popped when I was out on a walk run in the blood. It bled, and at first I was like, oh, it's a pop blister, and like I knew right away. And it was like, you know, it felt wet, and I was like looking at my shoe, and I see it got cloth, and so I was like, it's okay, it's not bleeding that I can see anyway. Way long enough. It started bleeding, and then the bleeding started spreading. So then I got back to the house and checked it out, and you know, I did some basic Tanis care to my toe, my right toe on my right foot, little toe, some call it. Although depending on one's toe sizes, it may or may not be the littlest toe. So there we go. And so with a blister, there is a fluid that gets trapped under skin, for this particular one of mine, and then the skin popped, and it was rubbing against my other toe, which may have had its own problems, so I had a band-aid on, and the rubbing underneath the flap of skin that popped, and like the edges ruptured, rubbed against the band-aid, and it bled. So what am I getting at? There was a flap of skin that got removed, pop blister, skin absence, even though there was skin underneath the blister, so it's like there's skin, fluid, more skin as a blister. The loss of the top of the blister in that case actually resulted in popping, and so I can think of it as like it's like, whether it's truly what it is or not, like some of the skin got like removed. Like normally there'd be a protective layer for that skin that gets exposed underneath, but instead fluid got between the layers of the skin. What is it? There's 7 layers to the epidermis or something like that. So it's like some of the layers got separated. So normally the skin would be smooth, but then the skin got stretched and filled with fluid, and then there was a pop. So there was skin absence where there was normally skin. So skin absence for this video here means places where skin normally is and for some reason is not, such as a pop blister. So is it a pop blister, for example, my one that bled through my shoe on my 5.8 mile road walk run on Saturday, 27 June 2026 AD. And I'm still cleaning up as of today. So it's Tuesday, 21 July 2026 AD. So there's cleaning, so that's like ointment, bandaging, in-house footwear, active footwear, follow-up / repeated bandaging. So yeah, and there's also so this is so I'll get to like the when. So this has been developed for this one, but there's also like as a takeaway here, I'm talking through 2 examples and then kind of a when to develop. So for the pop blister, cleaning was water, rinsing, patting dry. Ointment was polysporin. I do prefer this. I used to use Neosporin, and then when I got my another form of skin absence, I was diagnosed with melanoma, a type of skin cancer that was in situ, meaning they could cut the skin and corresponding flesh away, and they did, and they cut the cancer out. That's skin absence. And this skin, I get different skin. I got different skin. But my surgeon, my plastic surgeon, because it was actually a deep enough wound that it needed, so a plastic surgeon, so they recommended polysporin, and it might have been recommended before that somewhere along the way, but this was polysporin was for that, and I scar much less with polysporin than Neosporin. So there's my ointment, bandaging, little band-aids. One size treats all my toes, so to speak. So be it, I have really sensitive toenails, so blisters and bleeding toenails depending on how I trim them. I go through my band-aids semi-decently. In-house footwear. So that's like socks, different thickness of socks, especially as they're cleaning, being mindful of, I might want to, I know there's a band-aid on it, but I might want to put an extra layer between that and the floor, or that in my sheets, or that in the carpet, which is floor. Active footwear. Do I need to rotate my shoes? Do I need to take into account my bandaging to be different while I'm out and about? Or what pair of shoes is that? And then also for my athletic stuff, my exercise. Follow-up / repeated bandaging. It is one that has required trimming. Okay, so this is part of cleaning. So currently I'm at the skin, dead skin keeps kind of like becoming more and more dead. So then I trim it. I've been using nail clippers to trim this dead skin off my toe. So that's follow-up / repeated bandaging. I did have to bandage it a fair amount, and if it looks like it's getting thin, I need to put a band-aid on it, otherwise it rubs raw and starts bleeding again. So repeated care there, that's over 3.00 consecutive weeks now for that one. This one for the day, my Jacob Elordi shows and does not teach me how to suture his leg. So this is for lacerations. Is it a laceration protocol? I have been known to take on a metal rod that left a mark / scar. It's not necessarily a laceration is like a cut in the skin. It is the big term laceration, the normal term cut. But there's different forms of cuts with laceration. My Jacob Elordi does a lot of work in the yard / with the trees, living with Josh and I. Perhaps he already has. A laceration here is a tree branch puncturing / dragging through skin to form a laceration. So this is a particular example of yard work. I've been known to do this as well. So cleaning, suturing, and making sure, especially with a laceration in relation to yard work, speaking from experience, making sure there's no debris like wood pieces or pine needles in the cut itself, the laceration. Suturing or combining of skin pieces if / as applicable. I have not ever needed stitches in my life or sutures. I did some damage to the back of my head. They said they would have put staples in if I had shown up earlier. So even for that one, it was a different one. Ointment, bandaging, at-home attire / accommodation, depending on where in the body. Out and about attire / accommodation, yes, especially if like like for me, the bandaging might depend on like if it's in a place where that rubs with like pants or something like that, then the bandage might be a little bit bigger just so that it doesn't pull off easily, speaking from experience. Follow-up / repeated bandaging. So when / how to develop additional protocols or update existing ones. Planning and reflecting. So are we planning? Are we going to do yard work? Did we just do yard work? Was there anything that we're like, oh, that looks like a sharp tree branch. It got, half of the branch broke off in the windstorm. Do we want to trim it? Or like, have we even thought about like if that's a sharp piece of wood, like kind of thing. Have we visited this or talked about this recently? Our skin absence protocol. Piece by piece through potentially relevant life experience. So that's like at the time reflecting or planning, go through like, do we end up with a long, like a catalog of self-care home remedies, including, and we go through it. And then at the time documentation when acting on / handling a skin absence. So there's the if not before, if not after, there's the at the time can do it, if nothing else. And that's a great one too, to enter in, like if developing it or it's already developed, could update a protocol as well and add like, for so-and-so had this particular item, skin absence taken, like put down the name, the date, and what action was taken. Did it work? That kind of stuff. So that's on a home remedy protocol development for skin absence, such as pop blisters, lacerations.